What's poppin', y'all? It's your boy Donatello.
This is Yablo.
And we on the run. Shout out to Sicarah.
Coming up poor, we was sleeping on the floor, we was posted on the back block.
What you know about having them doubts and they tryna take you out when they see you on the back block?
I was on the bench, you was just a mascot, fucking on a bad bitch.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl Sicarah, and you already know you are now tuned into On the Run. Today I have with me two very special guests, SayLess and Donatello. What's up, y'all?
Poppin', double up, shit. You already know some names.
Yes, so I'm so happy to have you guys both here, right? So as music artists, what led you both to want to pursue the music industry?
I've been rapping since I was like 8 years old. Music was just always something I gravitated towards. Like a lot of people around me did music, and I just looked up to a lot of people who started hip hop early on. And that's pretty much it. Trying to dream.
And for me, it was a little more different. I started out actually painting and drawing, and as time goes, realized it takes a little harder to support that. So I had to think about what was the next thing where I could express myself easily without having to worry about money and stuff like that. And it just came to freedom of speech, I guess. So I started doing poetry, and then after poetry, I decided, kind of want to take it to the next level, and I just started doing music. And that's why I met, my son here, 6th grade, 7th grade vibes, and that's when we made our first little rap group, and it was fake going from there. It was fake history from there. That's offending.
Wow, that's crazy, because that was one thing I was curious to know. How did you guys meet? It seems like y'all bond is so real as music artists. This flow is really on point. And of course, I can tell you're two separate artists when y'all do music together, but it's still a vibe.
Thank you. I thank you for all those great words, those supportive words for sure.
Cause this really my friend in real life. So before we even mastered our craft, it became natural once we got to that point. So cause I know how to bounce off his energy, he know how to bounce off mine.
And then we became brothers. A little more than friends, it's a little deeper, it's bigger. It's a bigger picture to a lot of what I see in here. It's not just about what he look like and what I look like. It's a bigger message behind a lot of this, you feel me? But y'all gonna tune in, y'all gonna find out.
Yes, I love that. So I do want to talk a little bit about They Don't Know, right?
Okay.
Because that song really touched me. There was so many points in there that was so heartfelt. And I was really in tune with it. Even some experiences that I don't know anything about, right? But it's just, you still feel it. So I want to talk about, was there ever any fear at all when it came to dropping music that is just so authentic?
To be honest, you gotta stand for something to fall for anything.
I don't really have no fear in nothing that I say in the lyrics, because it's like I'm telling the truth, I'm telling my truth. Anybody else who doesn't want to understand my truth, it's just you don't want to deal with my reality. So, like a lot of times, like people will look at a situation like you said, like a situation that you never had to experience, but most of the time they judge that situation instead of put themselves in that predicament and ask themselves what would they do. Yeah, so I feel full. The music is the only time I got the freedom to really say what the fuck I want to say and not actually do what I really want to do. Yeah.
That was valid.
Yeah,
right.
that was valid, definitely for sure. I could definitely, it's hard to even piggyback over an answer like that. For sure, I could resonate with
You told my They Don't Know.
I could definitely resonate with that, you feel me?
Not even really about the glorification of any of it. It's just really about like if you've seen something or actually went through something, like just painting a picture so somebody else don't have to go through the same exact shit that you done.
I hope that they listen. Something that a lot of people not doing now, they just judging, they pointing fingers. But when you point a finger, you got 3 pointing back at you.
So I know I'm not the only person going through this type of shit. So a lot of times nobody got nobody to vent to, talk to even ease their mind.
Yeah, we here, Levels and Lanes is here. You wanna vent, do whatever you want. You can
They Don't Know out now.
That's friendly, you know that.
Yeah, so I do want to talk a little bit about that too, levels and lanes. Now, first of all, I love it because everybody's trying to get to the next level, and there's always that saying, stay in your lane. So talk to me about how you guys came up with the title, what exactly is it, and let's get into the merch too.
Yeah, I mean, the whole point is that we all want to make it, and we all want to get to the point where we all want to have to be relaxed and not have to worry about things like that. But at the same rate, it's like you can't speed your process, because once you skip steps, you miss the lessons. And that's kind of like where it kind of all stemmed from in that idea. And then I was just like, levels, and I was like, lanes, and I was like, hold on, yeah, this is perfect, levels and lanes, you feel me? Like, so that's kind of how that came about.
That's really how the title came from. We was already thinking about a brand itself, but we just didn't know what to call it or how we was going to brand it or how we was going to
I
tell it.
don't want to call it rapping, but when I talk bars, it doesn't sound right. But
Top them bars.
Yeah, talk bars.
all right. So you said showing too much love, that'll make you weak, right? So everyone learns through life lessons, as I said before. So what experience led you to that line? Because I feel like you had to go through something to realize that.
Oh man, that's a fact. That's definitely a fact. So I just gotta be careful where I plant my energy at, and that's my seed. You feel me? We're gonna take it to the top, especially with this levels of lane shit. Y'all just gotta be there to witness big facts.
Yeah, so we gotta get into the title. So SayLess, Donatello. I really gotta know the origination of your names because that right there reminded me of maybe that's why you named yourself SayLess, and Donatello has this ring to it. Like, you know, like I don't wanna play with you type ring. Both of y'all got that. So let's talk about that. Where y'all get that from?
Like, my name is Don, like my real name. So it's like a long time before I had the name Donatello, I had a different rap name, but it had Don in it. One of my friends told me that was whack. Like, he told me my name wasn't going to be it because another rapper had a similar name. So he just told me to just think about a stage name, like some type of character that still has my regular name in it. And one day I was with my nephew just watching Ninja Turtles, and I really thought about Donatello, and it worked. I changed my Instagram name to Donatello, and that was like 2014, 2015.
Alright, shout out to all the kids in the world. Keep being great.
Facts. Donatello ever since.
That's a fact. It's funny that you asked me about that because SayLess was kind of like a name that people just kind of gave me from where I lived and where I grew up on, as far as like, and that was recently because I had the name and on Instagram, so it was like, hey, just caught on and had like a link to it, like, oh, SayLess. So I'm like, all right. And then around that time prior to that, that word was popular, that kind of like slang where it's like, say no more, say less, like I got it, I already understand. So it kind of just stuck, and I was like, hey, if that's what people know me for, then I'm just gonna stick with the name. But my name is actually, I'm switching it over to Yablo.
Yablo. That shit.
Oh, so we gotta wait. I wasn't expecting that. Okay.
His name's really not SayLess.
I like that.
I'm really Donatello.
Yeah, y'all really gotta tell them for sure.
PTSD left me damaged and broken. That line really meant a lot to me because I don't think a lot of people realize that the trauma that you may experience as a child, it really does something to you. It's not normal all the time, or we just grow up thinking it's normal. So I just want to talk about a little bit how you overcome certain situations. Are you pro therapy, or is music like the therapy?
Yeah, like PTSD in general is a topic that minorities period don't really touch on. They like to act like it don't exist just so they don't have to deal with their trauma and their hardship. But it's real important because once you understand what happened to you and what made you become what you are, then you can move further with your life and leave everything behind you for real.
Facts.
But like as far as therapy, I'm not really too fond of therapy unless it's somebody who's really directly from your background can actually relate, because I don't believe in paying $500 an hour to speak to somebody who never stood in my neighborhood or been under any circumstances that I ever been in, like, because they wouldn't do the same thing I would do, so how you gonna tell me what to do?
That's a fact. And piggybacking off of that, I really want to just say, the music in terms of losing friends due to jail and incarceration, what impact does that have on you, let's say, or you feel like people in your community? Because I think a lot of times it's in music, but nobody talks about the people who are on the outside.
Yeah, I think it starts in the household. Like I've been losing people, family members to incarceration and death since I was born, basically. So it's like I kind of just seen it on the come up, not knowing that mentally this was affecting me as an adolescent. So once we start unpacking that, then we can start to move forward with the problem. Once we identify with that problem,
Whereas free my son, Santana, aka Bands, free my son Slay,
everybody.
You feel me? Free the whole game, why not? Make the fucker for sure. My son Blazers home, go show him love. My son Rara home, go show him love. You already know vibes. Free everybody, free the family, free everybody.
Right, and you know what? That's crazy because a lot of people don't think about, like you said, out of sight, out of mind. Like you said, show love, because they're not thinking about it anymore. Everybody goes back to their regular life. And that's so unfortunate, especially for people who don't snitch, people who hold it down and then they gotta struggle by themselves. So.
Yeah, you just gotta be honorable. Just be honorable.
That's it.
You gotta be honorable. That's really all it is. They don't lost their moral and their ethics in this shit.
Facts.
They don't look out.
Facts, bro.
Yeah.
Jinx, you owe me a soda.
You gotta put that on camera.
I should keep that. Alright, heard you. So what is, right? I got the New York vibe off rip. I was like, oh, okay, it's somewhere here.
Facts.
Right. So you ain't gotta say exactly where, but y'all wanna shout out the borough at all and like maybe how hip hop music, how you seen it in your
Yeah, I'm from Uptown, BX, and my son is from Webster Ave.
Listen, we
BX.
from the mecca of this
Bronx.
shit. We from the
It's
mecca
where rap
Let's
started.
not forget about the.
It's where
the
everything
all
started.
that. Let's
Everybody around the world, y'all know where rap started. That's
There's a
why.
lot of culture in the Bronx, you feel me? A lot of people be trying to play the Bronx, because technically speaking, if you look up on Google, we're the poorest county in the entire country. And I said that correct, the entire country.
Us in
So
East Cleveland.
where they want to impoverish you, there's a lot of culture, a lot of essence there, a lot of vibes there. And that's why hip hoppers came to be from the Bronx, because they try to play us, and now we have to make something to make the whole world change. And now we here to bring that vibe back to that. Shout out to my son A-Boogie, shout out to Cardi B, I do I think Fat Joe, you already know.
Yeah, everybody from the Bronx.
That's a fact. Shout out to the Bronx, for sure. Shout out to my Brooklyn, Queens niggas and all that, you know, Harlem.
Now New York, we here, but shout out to the Bronx though. Like, I love New York, but shout out to the Bronx.
I love that. All right. So let's get into the messaging because you already touched a little bit on the messaging, but overall, as a music artist, what do you want people to think when they hear your artist name? Like, oh, he's gonna give you that pain music, or is it party music, or is it everything in one?
You want to go first, bro?
I just like authentic. Like I just want people to feel like I'm a person. Like I go through everything just like a regular person. Because a lot of times, like people might they might judge you for whatever you into. Like, oh, now you're a weirdo. Now you're this. Now you're that. Like, nah, you're just still a person at the end of the day. So it's like I just want to be accepted as somebody.
I feel that. When people hear Yablo, the question is when people hear Yablo, like what I want them to think.
Right.
To be honest, I don't want them to think one thing. I think what we oftentimes just do, and like, you know, my son is a key example of this, where it's like people want to look at you and they want to have these assumptions about you. Feel me? Judge a book by its cover. We should never be boxed in to that situation. It should never be just, oh, we rap, or yeah, we do this. Like, nah, we do it all, baby. We saw stuff all the way in different realms. You feel me? So we might be doing movies, we might be doing music, we might be doing short films, we're gonna do merch, we're gonna do a lot of stuff. So, you know, when you hear Yablo, just think of a progressive thought. When you hear Donatello, think of a progressive thought. Levels of lanes, we only doing better, because if you know better, you do better. And best believe, some of us know better and we fucking up. But you know, God is good and God is great. So every day you get another 24. So you're not gonna see me, and you're not gonna see me talking about my community and what my community has done for people to feel safer and feel more love than hate. Give me some.
Sure. So I want to talk a little bit about the Slave Ruler freestyle.
Okay.
The lines that stood out to me.
Free Slay.
Free Slay.
Yes. Facts. And so this is the thing, right? You said 35 to the grave. That line stood out to me. And also, every day you rap about getting up and praying to God and that He show you a way. And I love the fact that you included faith, and I love the fact that you were so honest, because, you know, a lot of times when people hear, oh, somebody's locked up, they might think 5 years, max 10 years. So I want to know, like, how does faith or religion in a way help you guys get through it? Or, you know, you could just talk about why it's so important for you to be so honest on your lyrics.
Well, first of all, to set the tone for that question, fuck what faith do for me right now, because thank to God I'm out here with some good people. You know, we alive, we got all our limbs and everything like that. But what faith is doing for my mans behind the wall, under the ground, is the question. Like, I got my mans writing me, telling me to keep going with this music shit, to keep pushing. I got somebody that's behind the wall, underground, telling me that. So for me to feel like I'm sad because my emotional or my life is not going as well, or I can't get this and I can't that, how could someone with faith behind the wall and under it tell me, though, bro, keep going with this shit? If he can have that, best believe I could have that and more because I got every day to make it right. So it's definitely like, and there's things we can't control in this world. No matter how much of a good person you could be, no matter how much of a bad person, whatever the case may be, there's things you cannot control in here. And even when you're doing things right, bad stuff happen. You be confused. You know what I'm trying to say? So you always gotta wake up and pray to something that'll give you more of a feeling that something can happen different. Because the minute you start letting your lower self control your higher self, you're gonna get lost in the sauce, and we don't do that over here.
That was bars, lower self control your higher self. Yeah, you might.
Natural.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, that was fire.
Don't let it snatch you. That's offend you. Hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your weed too. You heard they fucking up the weed too.
I'm
Telling you.
Homo.
Doing bad.
So Donatello, whoa, right? Like when I listen to your music, I get a little bit of a Soulja Boy vibe. Like I went back. No, that's not a bad. Do you know how many hits he has?
Okay, you meant.
I'm like, wait.
I
do you
like
know?
Soulja Boy.
No, that's not a bad thing. Look at how much money. What Soulja Boy got? Yeah, we will talk about that later.
Nah, that's nice.
Anyway.
No pocket watching.
Yeah. But the thing is that you make music that is like also hardcore, but you also make music that I feel like it has like a bounce, like a different vibe to it that I wasn't expecting until I started looking on iTunes and stuff. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's like I had to develop that. Like when I was younger, like coming up, all I had was the bars. So I took a little hiatus while I wasn't rapping, so I could perfect it, so I could practice how to diversify my style and shit like that. Cause you can't be hardcore all the time. And if all your music is that you're hardcore all the time, that's how I know you're not hardcore at all. Because everybody do everything. Like I like women, I like to have fun, I like to enjoy life. I just don't go through trials and tribulations all the time. I'm really lit in real life. Like so it's like you gotta incorporate that in the music.
Right, it can't be one dimensional.
It can't be I shoot, kill all day, or I do this all day,
That's how you end
all
up in the
day. It's
box.
like fucking lying. You with your mother in the grocery store, you took your niece over here, you went to the amusement park, nobody wanna talk like they do that type of stuff no more. And I be like, y'all crazy, cause I do all of that. Like,
we got something for everybody.
like I like people that have fun and feel energetic when they listen to my music. But it's always a lesson even in that type of music that I got.
Facts. I love that. So I do want to talk about the music video, what it is, right?
Okay.
And the reason being is because that is the video you shot. And that song, Levels and Lanes. And I want to know, what was it about this particular song? And whose idea was it to come out of the door like that? Like, I thought that was so valid. It's like, you're telling a story, but I'm following the story.
Right.
And then I like how you wasn't by yourself. Like, it was like a very collaborative team effort, even though you was rapping. So
Right.
I love that.
So what it is actually it's a statement for my people that's locked behind bars right now, because sometimes people forget what they did. So I just took it upon myself to make sure people remember their name and people speak about them consistently, because over time you can lose sight of that. I creative directed the video myself. Obviously I have my videographer there. Shout out to Ty Vision, he always do his thing. Ty Vision, that's his gram.
So what is something that you guys really want to complete in 2021?
Something I want to complete. Like, I just want all the music that I got in the stash to be out, like with the visuals and everything. Because I've been holding on to a lot of music. Like, I'm about to really flood the streets, and I'm excited about all of the shit that I got in the cup. We gonna play you some shit, but yeah, that's really it for 2020.
I think that the answer to that question is like everlasting, in the sense that like we all got shit to say, and before we get up out of here, we want to let people know what was it. We don't. A lot of us don't come from generational wealth.
Gotta leave it.
A lot of us don't. We don't even get to see past a certain age where we're from. So for me personally, it's like this shit is really real. So before I get up out of here, I want to make sure that I left behind a message, an idea.
Also, speaking of 2021,
More videos, merch, all of that. Before we keep it serious, but definitely keep it real. Like all of that's coming. That's everything. I know that's gonna come in. we don't have to really talk. We're gonna show you how it's coming for sure.
Yes, I love that. Cause actions speak louder than words. I'm with you on that.
That's
For real.
funny, you know that.
2 artists that you guys can work with. Who would it be and why?
Like industry or anybody.
That's interesting. I've literally met industry, but now I'm curious. I'm like,
a lot of like there's so much people who make music who never made it or never like past the surface level, like, and they better than everybody that's making that shit. So yeah, there's certain people that I want to that's not lit.
okay, so how about we do 2 people? Oh, that's offensive though. If you say 2 people not lit. Okay, give me 4. 2 different songs, 2 people on each.
I could give you 2 people who I want to work with. Just off the top of my head, I definitely want to work with Roddy Ricch and definitely want to work with Lil Durk.
Why is that?
It's got a certain type of mixture between like the urban sound and the country sound.
And do somebody who really rap, because I really rap. So probably like anybody in New York or anybody in the game who really is a boss. I want to do some shit with Tank. You know Tank?
Shout out to Tank.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tank.
Yeah, because she really raps.
Still big nice.
Like, she really raps though. So it's like I want to do something with a female who really could rap. So we can talk about some shit.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
So we
fire.
can talk about some shit. Yeah, I feel like she really did the best spot.
Also, we like to do things a little above and beyond here at Levels and Lanes, and there's something like, we want to appreciate you, Sicarah, for doing this first interview with us. Shit more monumental than you think, even the camera knows. So we want to kind of just give you something from our company to yours.
Thank you.
Levels and Lanes
Alright.
beating.
That was right. We got some Levels and Lanes care packages coming out, only the essentials and only the members, you heard? Only the fucking
OTM.
members. OTM, remember that. You feel me? Shout out to Dirk for the OTM. We're gonna do all of the members too. It's a lot coming on the way. Just stay tuned and show love, because that shit free. Shout out to my son Nice too. My son Nice.
Shout out Nice.
Love is free, support is free. Holla at that man. He got a podcast on all
Support is
streams.
free on
all that.
Spotify.
Thank you so much. I love gifts. Like,
You want to open it too? What?
oh yeah. Thanks. Yeah.
See if you like it, that shit.
Oh, I'm sure I will. I will.
You didn't see it, right?
Yeah, I didn't see it. I'm the worst when it comes to opening stuff, as you guys can see.
You always do that.
Right? It's like the most like, oh, this is so nice. You guys like taste it and everything.
Yeah, you know,
Oh, this is valid. I like this. Thank you.
everything is fresh, you feel me? So we didn't even open that up and open it up for you, so you just gotta put it in reverse.
Cool.
And it's
So I
gonna
love you. OTM, she's officially an OTM member.
That's a fact. Honorary member, you heard? That's a fact, Sicarah.
You guys have to tell me. Thank you so much. What is this symbol?
Everything 1 of 1.
Everything.
If you're not in tune now, I wish you get in tune later, because everything you're coming in now, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it because you've been a person of essence at some point, whether minuscule or really big influence. You're gonna have something from us, and that'll never be replicated. And it's 1 of 1 everything. You heard? It's a fact.
That's hard. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you both being on the run.
Appreciate you. Appreciate the run for having me.
Yeah, that's a fact. Appreciate the money. Appreciate you, and we definitely hope to see you again.
Yes, definitely will.
Maybe in like a whole year when we super up. Trust me. Comments.
It's really gonna look different by 2022. It's not gonna be the same way.
Nah, I love that.
I done did too much, can't trust the soul. I don't need your back, I got my own. I ain't with the games after we grown. I still think of you when I'm alone.